I'm here with Mateo of Sarcator to talk about Swarming Angels and Flies, out January 17th on Century Media Records. Thank you very much for taking the time today to chat with me about the band and about the record. How are things going with you?
It's good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's very good. It's around the corner, so to say. We release the album next month, and it's like this that when you're up in the album and everything is centered around the album, all of a sudden when it's recorded and sent to the label, you can like forget it for some time. But now when the singles are out, it starts to things are boiling again, and yeah, we're very hyped for the
It's
release.
a great way to start 2025 with a new album.
Yeah, we really kickstart it. We've always released like in the end of the year, so October and November. So it's a first timer for us to kickstart it. So to say.
So let me ask you this. When you take a seat and you look at this record, but not only at this record, you look at the previous albums, what do you consider to be the biggest evolution, the biggest growth that the band has had leading up to this record?
Yeah, I actually had like a moment of thinking like that when I got finally all of the three vinyls in my hand. When you can just look at them and just what the fuck happened here. So I think it is a pattern of like acting upon the previous record always. Like it's sort of a thing we have done. And I think, yeah, let's say the first record is straight up, a thrash record. It's classic Debbie Allen stuff. It sounds like your heroes basically. And then we realized pretty quickly there during the second record that we want to discover our own sound in it, and yeah, we let every influence just come to us and get filtered through our band basically. So, Alcast, the second record, it's all over the place. We wanted to make this over the top album. It's like large in every way. Double vinyl. It's almost 58 minutes, I think. So it was just going to the extreme with that and letting every influence come. So it's like everything from psychedelic rock music, ambient sections, passages and stuff, rock music. Everything is just mashed up there. And then for this record, it was all about learning from the last record. And I think that we learned with that record to do like genuine work. That we don't want to stick to a genre, more about evoking different emotions and stuff, which we felt was more interesting to work with, basically. And I think we scaled everything down. So it is shorter songs than the last record, but it's also we cut out the sort of passages that you just want to get over with. So it's more of a punch in the gut record, basically. It's our most aggressive work up to date. I have a hard time seeing how it will top the next record with the aggressiveness. It's a very physical album also to play. It's
It,
not
it
fun to
is.
play live.
Yeah, it is. And,
Yeah,
and I kind of wanted to ask you that because you mentioned the first album being very thrashy. This album still has a lot of thrash elements in it, but I thought it was really interesting because when I got the album for review,
yeah,
you guys are kind of labeled as a thrash metal band. Now, when I listened to this record, I felt like this album was almost more of a black metal record than it is a thrash metal record because it's very raw.
yeah,
It's heavy, it's punchy, it's raw,
yeah,
and those are normally all things that you can, see in a black metal album.
yeah. I think it's fun that you say that because I agree with you. Also, I think that the death metal influences became very apparent on this record as well.
Mm.
Uh, and I think that's just us being music lovers and taking in everything. I think in every of those genres like thrash metal, it doesn't matter, there's always these bands that are a bit outside of the norm that maybe is a bit hard to label, and those bands have always inspired us. When it comes to like Swedish death metal, I personally haven't been so much into Entombed and Dismember, so much more drawn to like Merciless and Grotesque because they're more like interesting to me in a way because it feels so, I don't know. It's like more of pure aggression rather than a sound, in a way. but anyways, yeah, black metal can be very powerful when it is played in the sort of aggressive nerve, I think. uh Bands like Bataille, Marduk, in a way, bands that just do it more aggressively rather than doing, ambient stuff, these long songs, black and white album covers, stuff like that. That's not really our thing, but yeah, aggressive black metal is can be very powerful.
Do you feel like your vocal style also fits this more black metal, death metal infused sound? Do you think you can get more out of your vocals on a record like this one?
Yeah, I love to experiment with my vocals because that's the thing that I like doing in the studio. The only thing, because I can get very creative with it, and I really tried to do it on this record. Focus on feeling or emotions like desperation, getting that into the vocals, which is pretty common in black metal. But I think that I've always been drawn to the more mid to high pitch growl vocals, not the sort of guttural low pitch death metal thing. And that's usually a deal breaker for me in every in every death metal album. If I hear that vocals, I will turn it off. It is that simple. But every death metal band should have become better with like David Vincent type of vocals, which sounds more, I don't know. I'm just drawn to that vocals. So yeah,
Over the work that you guys have done on these three records, outside of the development of the band, how has been your own personal development? Have you gained knowledge? Have you grown with each and every single record that allows you to now be where you are today?
yeah, I think so. Also, we started out like had our official start 2018. I think I was like 14 or 13 back then. So I've sort of grown with the band, so to say, and the others as well. And I think they're around the Outcast record when we really started listening to much music. That was like more of a personal journey that everyone just, it was just an explosion of inspiration, listening to everything. So yeah, yes, totally.
I remember when we discovered you guys through a reaction video that somebody
Mm.
requested, and we check out one of your songs. I was like, these dudes are kids, like,
Yeah,
and they rip, and they rip. I was like, what the
thank you, man.
After the video, I told my son, don't tell anybody that you play guitar because you're way older than these guys, and there's no way you can do that. So just retire, just retire. I told him.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Fun to hear.
I mean, it's amazing. How was it for you in terms of those around you? Is your family supportive of you, considering that you guys started this journey at such an early age?
Yeah, they are totally. I always have support from my family, both my parents, and then also I know that you did an episode with Marco, my dad. So
Is your
yeah,
dad?
that yeah, he's my dad.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So the thing runs in the family, so to say.
I had no clue. This is super cool. Super cool.
So getting a lot of knowledge, or maybe if he sees like these kids are going into a business trap or whatever, he could be there to give us a hint. But it's always been pretty things like we should do our own mistakes and all that, learn from that, of course. But yeah, support from every family member in this band. They are the ones who bought our stuff in the beginning and let us
They're invested. They spent the money on you guys.
exactly.
They're waiting for a return on the investment. Now, when it comes to your own performance, what part do you work more at? Do you work more at improving as a guitar player, or do you work more as improving as a singer?
Mostly, I'm a pretty like bad at practicing guitar. I haven't really practiced at all, as far as I can remember. I started out when I was 6 years old. Maybe then I practiced in a way, but that was more like learning every Metallica song there was, and then it came by it came naturally, so to say. Um, but I would say my main focus right now that has been more and more like important to me, that's the frontmanship, playing live. That's something I take very, very seriously. And I like when see that the singer or frontman takes it seriously, and you can see that it's practiced and stuff. That is very inspiring to me because I take that seriously. Then the vocals, I'm pretty settled with how it sounds, but that's more of a maintenance thing that I scream home to keep it warm, and disturb the neighbors. But then I think also songwriting is the main priority. We want to evolve the songwriting. That's the thing that it flows naturally. And just to take an example, a song from the latest record, "Coming of End Times." We had these two riffs. That was like one of them was Morbid Angel, pure aggression, blast beats and all, and then the other riff was like Black Sabbath groove, and the challenge was to get those to flow together. And I think we succeeded pretty much on that one. And songwriting is basically the most important thing for us.
Oh, when it comes to being a frontman, is there someone out there that you look up to that you want one day to be at that level?
I mean, of course, you have your heroes. I mean, of course, Metallica, as I mentioned, being my favorite band. So of course, Hetfield is the god. There's no more question about that. uh, I think that I sort of copy many things that not only he but a lot of persons do, and then I sort of make it my own thing. Uh, and then I have, I mean, one that I've recently discovered is the Hives frontman Colin Pelle, because he's one of those that you see he takes it seriously, and that is very inspiring to me. It's not just a natural born frontman, but you see that it's practice behind it. But him, Peter Steele from Type O Negative, great frontman. Erik Danielsson Watain, Jo Nödveit, especially when he did the comeback with Dissection. You see a fury in his eyes live. It's very inspiring. So yeah.
You guys also have a great look. Like you guys look what you sound, and I think that's really important because sometimes you listen to a
Cool.
band and
Yeah.
how they look and how they sound, the two things don't really match. And for a band that wants to be a live band and a very good live band, I think
Yeah.
it's important to have a look, an aesthetic to it. Do you guys also think about that aspect of being in the band that you have to look the part?
I agree. Yeah, we do totally. I think that those things go hand in hand. It's not like we have to put on a show to make it a good show. It's very easy things that you can do to just up the level a bit. I mean, the Hives said that just the easy way of having like similar clothes just makes it cooler. So looking like a band basically, stuff like that. But of course, we take it very seriously. It should look cool when we go up on stage because we are, in the core essence, we are music lovers that look up to our heroes on the stage. So yeah, totally.
It helps sell the package. You mentioned
Yeah.
how much you enjoy working on your vocals in the studio. Does that mean you hate doing everything else?
No, no, no. But I mean, it's unnecessary evil, as I call it. It's for us, we haven't really had the studio as a creative sort of bubble. It's more about all the creative stuff is done in the rehearsal room. So every sort of song is like 5% on the record as we played it, except like improvisation, layers, harmonics, and stuff. But so for us, when we go into the studio, it's all about getting it down on the paper. So to say, it's no messing around. But with the vocals, I can mess around a bit. I feel same with adding layers and stuff. I like that in the studio on the guitar. Yeah.
So are the songs, from a creative standpoint, are the songs born out of like almost like a jam session together, or you don't bring like one idea here, one idea there, and everybody contributes? It's more like, let's play and let's see what comes from it.
Yeah, we've done like different ways throughout. We have tested out stuff, but one thing that we always have had, it's the band spirit. To have it like a collective business. Everybody, or usually now, I provide with most of the riffs, but I take it to the rehearsal room, and then everyone, puts their mark on it, and we sort of weld it together. We've been very to have that spirit throughout every record. But I think especially on the Outcast sessions when we wrote that one, which is a bit hazy, weird album. A lot of things was through jam sessions. We have had songs. Actually, the opening track for this one, it was like we went into the rehearsal room empty-handed, and then went out with a song. Later that day. So stuff happens.
Wow, that's super cool, super cool. So I take from all of this that for you, the end goal, the end result is to play live. The studio, like I said, is a necessary evil. So considering that playing live is the end goal, do you think about the song, how's it going to sound live, before you even consider it to be a song on a record?
Uh, that's an interesting question. We have sort of separated those two elements. I mean, if I do something that is completely impossible to do live, I think this is only the studio. We should serve the song. So we have sort of separated that. But both of our records, the two ones, we didn't tour on those because pandemic and all.
Mhm.
So we didn't have the reference of playing live during those. But then when we did that, start play live on after Alcest, we felt like we have too much aggression, playing live. We can't play these slow songs. So then we went into the rehearsal room and made this new record, which is very aggressive. So that was by learning from playing live. Um, but I wouldn't say that we would adapt any song after live because we feel it being very separate. It's a cool reference to just because I'm a Metallica fanboy. During the 1 year and a half documentary when they record the Black album, it's like Bob Rock, the producer, and James gets in a dispute of I can do this live, and Bob just says like live is another thing. He was like so that's pretty much our mindset as well.
And speaking of producing and putting the record together, the raw nature of the sound on this album that appeals to that black metal audience. What was the thought process behind that? Do you guys wanted the album to feel more aggressive, so going with that more raw production style was the right approach for you?
Just a fun fact, it's also my dad who produced all of our records.
Holy shit!
It's a small world, man.
I mean, if you have the guy living in your place or you living in his place, you might as well use it for the full extent.
Yeah, we have the home studio as well, so good resources, so to say.
Now you guys just got to tour together.
Yeah, exactly. We've done some shows together actually. We're going to do our first one together outside of Sweden also. It's
Wow,
fun.
that's really cool.
We ended up on the same festival. That's cool. But yeah, the mix. We've sort of had the same approach for all of the records, and that's recording it with my dad, and he has his sound and his way. And I think, yeah, it sounds raw, but also you hear everything. It is. I hate to say the word modern, but it's not retro mix.
No.
It's still word marching. And that's just because we like well produced music, and we're a bit in a weird state because we like to create songs that are maybe we have like 1 foot in rock and roll music, straight traditional rock, and 1 foot in aggressive, but those two doesn't blend when it's time to record the album. So when we had like in the beginning of this record, when we had these all raw songs, the fast ones came first. uh, we wanted this very much even more raw production. Basically one mic in the room and just record everything. It would suit the songs, but it wouldn't suit the other songs that were more arena rock. you
Mhm.
know so then you have to find your middle spot there. I think very very good. The aggressive one sounds aggressive in your face, and the heavy one sounds heavy, you know.
And you
And
guys,
yeah,
so sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, nothing.
I was just going to say that you also have three bonus tracks on the record. You guys did a cover of Sadus, Sarcophago, and Anticlimax. Three very different styles, three very different bands.
Yeah,
Are these bands like huge influences on you guys? Is that why you chose those songs?
yeah. Covers was actually a first timer for us to record them at least. It's ironic because we started out as a cover band who covered every Metallica song, and then Anthrax, Slayer, Dissection, all that. But we didn't really, when we started doing our own material, that wasn't really present anymore. But we felt like we wanted bonus material, and we are pretty much using like own songs as bonus tracks because we want them to be on the same level. It feels like those can be a bit, I mean, if you use the worst songs as a bonus track, we don't really resonate with that idea. But cover songs was like, let's try it. But the thing was to not think too much, because if everybody's fighting on which song, that could be a mess, and you would never record that song. So it was just, yeah, let's play Sarcophagus. Yeah, let's do it. Just just do it. Those songs, yeah. Sarcophago inspired us in the beginning. It's also, we took Sarcophago and Creator and did our own name, Sarcator. So we had to pay tribute to them.
I was wondering where the name came from, but that makes total sense.
Yeah, just we had it as a working title for Decidal, which is like the second song we wrote. Thought it sounded like Sarcophago and Creator, so it became Sarcator. Then just, hey, it works as a band name. Let's do it. No, but yeah, so that was paying tribute to your heroes, of course. Then we discovered this song by Sawdust, Torture, which is the most intense in thrash song there is. So we wanted to give our try doing that one. And Dogfight is a punk song by our favorite punk band, basically. So we didn't think too much of it. We just did it.
I gotta say, man, I love your vocals on all three, but I also love your vocals on the record. I really like your vocal approach. Sometimes it feels almost like it's unhinged, and I like that aspect because it,
Yeah.
it it makes the songs feel a lot more brutal and a lot heavier. I just really love what you do on the covers
Thank
and
you
on
very
the
much.
album.
The vocals very, because I feel that in metal music it's pretty much you do your verses and the chorus, and then maybe you have a scream here and there, but it's not so much like you still have the record button on, and if you get the feeling, you just do a shout, stuff like that. And I'm inspired by like what Iggy Pop does on the early Stooges albums and stuff, just shouting when it feels like it. That's so I think we have sort of that punky approach also, that I wanted to incorporate in the vocals.
Yeah, I feel a lot of that. Like there's a little bit of a punk underline
Exactly.
as far as the band is concerned.
Yeah.
You mentioned playing a festival, the same festival as your dad. Do
Yeah.
you guys have any plans for 2025 outs in terms of touring, shows, album release party? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're actually opening the year with a release party. First time. Haven't celebrated our album before, but yeah, it's a first time we're playing in Stockholm. Um, then the plan is to get one or two more shows around that, like a release mini tour or something. But then later on, we have what I can say and not. Uh, the plan is, of course, to get like a support thing for a bigger band. Of course, that's every band's goal to win some new audience. We got the chance to do it with Hellripper. It was our first Europe tour with them, and that was just amazing. And we realized that we love to tour. I mean, I remember like it was in the end of the tour. It's like, now it's gotta go. It's gonna get that moment when like this is not fun anymore, but it was fun during the whole thing. So we realized that that was for us. So of course we're open to support like a bigger band or something. But then we have Sweden Rock Festival in Sweden, like a goal on the bucket list. Play there. We have like German underground festivals. We do Turok, Burning Q festival with the Crown that I mentioned there. Then some stuff in the autumn season. Yeah, and some festivals that I can't say yet, but they're.
And you guys are releasing this album with Century Media Records, a label that I feel has a great ear for talent when you start to look at some of the bands, not only bands that they've had on the label, but bands that they're signing to be on the label. It's really, it feels to me like a great group of people that understand the music really well and know exactly how to promote it. Do you feel like the album coming out with a label like Century Media is also going to open the doors for you guys to be on the road a lot more?
Yeah, I hope so, and I've already seen that it does that, and you know we have a lot of respect for them, and of course because of their past and all what they're released, but also you know how their mindset are because you know we have had discussions with them, you know, and talked through everything, and they seem to be on the right. We're on the right page or same page, and I feel like they're very serious about the band, and we are serious about the band. So, and you know, we provide with the hunger as a young band, and they provide with the muscles and what they have built. You
And the
know, so
money.
exactly, exactly. No, but
It's important, dude. It's important.
it is, and yeah, I think that it's a match made in heaven with this label. Yeah,
Mateo, man, thank you very much for your time today. It was an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Do me a favor, say hi to your dad for me.
I will, I will.
I had a blast talking to him when he was on the
Yeah,
channel, so I love both of your bands. So
thank you very much,
I
man.
really enjoy seeing what you guys are doing, and this was really cool for me to find out that you guys like you, that's your dad. I had no idea. For some reason, I didn't put the pieces together. So say hi to him for me.
I will.
I hope this album opens all the doors in the world for you guys. And I travel to Europe quite a bit, so I'm sure we're gonna see each other at some festival.
Cool, man. Hope so. Thank you very
I'll
much
buy you a
for.
drink. I'll buy you a drink.
Right. Cool, man.
Thanks, man. All the best. Enjoy the
Yeah.
album release and all the best for 2025.